My name is Anthony Salinas, and today I'll be discussing question 1 of our discussion. The first part says, describe the central values and norms or rules that form from the code on the street. According to the textbook Void's Theoretical Criminology, the code of the street refers to the civil code that exists within inner cities among those who reside in lower income communities. The code exists as a way of informally separating street people from decent people in a community and is the product of antisocial subculture that is formed by members of that community. The code of the street serves as both a method of subtle communication and a set of agreed upon values between members of similar background that exist outside of mainstream society. A fundamental aspect of street code is establishing one's willingness or ability to participate and engage in violence or aggression in response to challenges or disrespect. This is done through both verbal posturing and behavior as well as nonverbal cues, including clothing, jewelry, tattoos, personal grooming, even the brandishing of firearms. At its core, the code of the street centers around honor and respect. Getting respect, gaining respect, paying respect, and being granted respect by one's peers and their community. In most cases, respect is often gained through physical strength and prowess, or reputation for having nerve or heart when faced with dangerous situations or confrontation. Second part says, how does Anderson explain the origin of the code of the streets? In the textbook Criminological Theory, Past and Present, Elijah Anderson argues that the origins of street code can be traced back to slavery and even segregation, with the code of the street being established in response to both the collective despair of the black community and their general distrust of society and the criminal justice system. From this, a subculture and its code were formed around the collective need to establish toughness and resilience in the face of discrimination and oppression, and as a response to the dangers posed by society and those who resided outside of their communities. Anderson explains that in low-income communities, individuals may internalize racism and struggles, and in an effort to preserve their pride and self-respect, go seek approval and respect from peers by adhering to the code of the streets and engaging in socially acceptable behavior regardless of whether or not that behavior is legal or illegal. Third part says, why do individuals who oppose the code of the streets nevertheless conform to its rules on occasion? One particularly fascinating aspect of the code of the streets is that while it's primarily seen in inner city communities and among urban youth, similar adherence to social codes can be seen being used by those who often oppose such concepts and practices. According to Void's Theoretical Criminology, this phenomenon is directly tied to the social rewards and punishments that exist within any given subculture, where those who do not adhere to the subculture's ways are criticized or ridiculed, while those who conform are accepted and respected. Subcultural norms have the potential to override personal judgment in favor of social acceptance, resulting in those who oppose subcultural rules, such as the code of the streets, being more likely to conform to them on occasion out of fear of ostracization or, in some cases, physical violence. And the fourth last part says, describe the socialization of street kids, noting how this socialization increases the likelihood that they will resort to violence in various situations. So, established by Edwin Sutherland in 1947, differential association refers to learning patterns and learning from patterns or interactions with others to determine what is socially acceptable or unacceptable. Sutherland states that differential associations may vary in priority, duration, frequency, and intensity, but all are directly influential to values, attitudes, and behaviors. This can be the result of both interpersonal communication as well as an individual's social affiliation within larger groups such as gangs. As previously stated, people will often do things that they think will result in approval or acceptance, or to avoid punishment for breaking cultural norms. In the case of street kids, their values and behaviors are directly influenced by those around them, including peers and people they look up to. These influences, if rooted in the code of the street, would then model the violent, antisocial, and delinquent behavior that is socially and culturally accepted in their environment, thus increasing the likelihood that street kids would pick up on this behavior and see violence as an appropriate response. As noted in the publication Justice Quarterly, Elijah Anderson elaborated on Sutherland's theory of differential association by stating that the socialization of street kids is shaped not only by the negative and illegal influences around them, but also by the legal and systematic forces that they encounter. These legal influences he references include negative or problematic interactions with police, teachers, parents, or other figures of authority. These interactions can leave juveniles feeling alienated and lead them to reject conventional values and institutions in favor of those afforded by street culture, further contributing to their delinquency and increasing their likelihood of perpetuating violence in accordance with the code of the streets.